What up, what up, what up, Team PineAPPLe, yes, 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 yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome to PineAPPLe TV, yes. This is life. Let's be kind. Please, please, let's be kind, let's be kind. I'm the Pineapple, and this right here is the quick one queen for the win. And we are doing another new one, but still following the vibes of kindness. And it's how to be dateable number one. How to be dateable number one. Dateable. Because practicing kindness actually correlates and goes with this, because being kind goes with the number one reason on how to be dateable. And it is, you know what it is, Miss Quinn?
What is it? Is it not talking?
Practice not talking about yourself.
Not talking about yourself.
You know, you're probably thinking, why not? Why not? And I'm going to give you the reason why. I'm going to give you two very, very good reasons. But first, we're going to swing it over to Quick One Quinn and, you know, ask and see what her insight is on how to be dateable. Number one. What would be your piece of advice?
Well, when you say don't talk about yourself too much, to be able to do that, you have to feel, because when people need to talk a lot about themselves, it's because they don't get to express themselves.
Exactly. And that's almost everyone. It's almost everyone.
And then you're missing out on learning about the other person. You know, I would imagine if I'm out there dating, which I really haven't done, but I have gone out there to meet a lot of people. And so when I'm able to be interested in others, I'm able to learn more about them and really see if they're like the right fit for me or not.
Exactly.
So, yeah, those are my thoughts that comes up. But to be able to be interested in other people, you have to really have your own time to self-express.
Exactly.
Because then you're going to want to dump it all on the next person, and then before you know it, you realize, I didn't even get to really hear or learn about who they are.
Exactly.
And the whole time it was about you.
Exactly. See, I'm going to give you a quick scenarios on how to be dateable and how it relates to being kind. See, the majority of the time, kind people are selfless. See, and when they're selfless, or when a kind person, when you come across them, they let you share. They let you express. And I want you to think about yourself and everybody that you encounter, and think about the feeling of, do you want to be understood? Do you want to be heard? Do you want to be special or feel special? You see, when we come into interactions with people on an everyday basis, we want people to listen. See, we want people to know how we feel. We want people to hear our opinions and our thoughts. See, and it's the same thing. It is the very same thing when it comes to dating. You see, for a guy who is courting or would like to date a woman, and you guys go out on a date, guess what? You've already won, man. You've already won. You don't need to tell them how great you are. You don't need to tell them about your job. You don't need to tell them how much you make. You don't need to tell them what kind of car or where you stay at or whatnot. When a woman has agreed to go out with you or whatnot, your job is not to mess it up. You see, that is your job. You've already won by them already going out with you. So please, the number one thing, practice not talking about yourself when you're out, when you go out with a person or you go out on a date. That is the number one reason. Why? Because people want to feel understood. They want to feel special, because how do you make somebody feel special? You let them talk and you listen. And you do this one. You do this. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right? You just become agreeable. That is all you need to do. See, when you talk about yourself, you risk having them tune out. Because they did agree to go out with you, but their main objective is to be heard. They want to be understood. They want to express how great they are, and your job is just to listen. That is it. Because, how would I say it? That is basically it. Those two things.
Yeah, and to even do that, again, you have to create space for them.
Exactly.
You're going to tune out too when they talk about it, and then you're not even engaged in being actually genuinely interested in them. So that's what comes up for me. You got to clear with yourself, create some space before going on that date.
Exactly. And see, you just mentioned a good point that I'm going to mention on another video after this.
Yeah.
Is when you are not interested in what they're saying, see, it's your job to listen. It is your job as well to steer the conversation. It is your job to lead the conversation into directions that you want to hear.
What
You
are
want to,
interested in?
exactly, what are you interested in? And hear and listen what they have to speak about. And if you don't like it, suggest something else. I'll teach you how to do that later on. But this is the number one. This is 1 out of 30 on how to become dateable. Practice not talking about yourself. Because there's a saying, when you talk, you push away. When you ask people questions, you pull them in. And the number one thing that people love to talk about is them. That is them. So if you go on a date, and people go on dates all the time, and they strike out all the time, and one of the number one reasons is they did too much talking. They didn't listen. They didn't make the other person feel listened to. They didn't have them feel special. They didn't make them feel like they were understood. They went on the date and they feel like they got outshined. That is normally what happens. It's like two conflicts of two people trying to explain each other how great they are. No. See, if you're a guy and you're already, like I mentioned, you're out on a date, your job is not to mess it up. Just listen. Just listen and steer the conversation. And as long as you do that, you're going to win, 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 and win. So with that said, anything else that you'd like to add, Miss Quick Quinn?
Get in your self-love before you go on that date, just saying.
Exactly. Because when you get in that self-love, you, like she mentioned, you create space within you. So you could actually take what they're saying and take it in.
You have room to listen.
Exactly.
You're not tuning out so easily and
Exactly.
not knowing what to do.
Exactly. And believe me, when a woman feels like she's listened to, the world is yours, man. The world is yours. They feel super special, and they'll just
Listen. That's
exactly.
experience that already.
So with that said, how to be dateable? Number one, practice not talking about yourself. We're gonna show you how to do that in a couple other videos. And yeah, always love from us to you. Hello Smiles. Keep spreading your laugh, your love, and those great vibes that you have. Keep going, everyone. Keep going. We're all going through it. But at the same time, we're gonna get through it. This is the Quick Queen for the win-win-win. Stay magical. Mwah.